but we are here right now to talk about how to avoid being a train wreck when you give a speech. We are talking about how to end the speech, how to end it. Everyone thinks, I don't really need help at the end, right? That's the end. I need the help with the meat and potatoes, the middle. But that is so not true. As someone who coaches speakers and has done a bazillion speaking engagements of my own, I can tell you the two most important points of the speech are the beginning and the end. The beginning gets their attention and the end solidifies everything. And if you screw up the beginning or you screw up the end, they will never remember the middle anyway. So we need to make sure we get the beginning right and the end right. And right now we're going to talk about the end. But let's be clear. I'm talking about the end of a speech. So a speech would be on a stage or behind a podium. We are not talking about a Facebook Live or a workshop or a breakout session or something that would be a more casual two-way conversation. We're talking about when it's more of a one-way conversation, when you are the one standing up there telling the audience something. It's you giving a speech. That's totally different than a casual setting. So we're not talking about Facebook Live or anything like that. Don't worry. You can be totally casual and conversational for your Facebook Lives. You don't have to put in a whole lot of prep work. We're talking about a speech. You want to end the speech really, really well. Here's how to end. Here's how to end your speech. You end it with a stop. And by stop, I mean stop. Think of a stop sign. Think of a stop sign that comes up at the end of your speech and you have to stop. Now, I do not mean rolling stop. I don't mean roll right through that stop sign. I don't mean coast on through. I don't mean keep on going and eventually end. I mean stop. Your speech should come to a definitive end. Stop. Stop. What usually happens when someone is at the end of their speech, if they have not prepped the ending well, they just keep talking. They go off on a tangent. They repeat the same stuff they've said 900 times already. They go back to the beginning and reiterate the things that they already talked about. They just keep going and going and going. They'll start talking about things that don't even matter to this speech. They'll tell you things that have nothing to do with anything. And the reason that it happens is because people do not prep their ending. That's all. It's as simple as that. Prep the ending to end, to stop, and then you'll do it. You'll stop. So no rolling stops. You don't end by saying thank you. That's like the cheater's way out of the end of a speech. You actually want to prepare the ending. The ending is not blah, 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 blah. Thank you. That's not the ending. You need to say thank you after people applaud for you because they know you've reached your stop. Then they applaud for you and then you thank them for the applause. Don't say thank you as you're ending. That's not a good stop. No, not a good stop. Don't keep going. Don't repeat everything. So here's what you do. You practice your ending verbatim. Now, I am not a big proponent of memorized speeches. I would never recommend that to anyone unless they're giving a TEDx talk. I would never. But you do need to memorize, or pretty darn close to it, your beginning and your end. And that is how you will make sure that you stop, because you have prepped it well in advance and practiced it enough times to end. You'll have the wording exactly how you want it, and it will feel like an end and come to a complete and total stop. So you have to practice it. You have to prepare it well enough in advance and go over it and over it and over it and over it until you can say it and stop. Trust me, your audience will know that's the end because it'll be the first time that you stop talking, right? They know it's the end. They will clap for you and then you can say thank you. I promise it'll work just like that, but you have to practice it. Prep and practice. And you can practice it till it's verbatim. Now, let's talk about your options for ending your talk. They're limitless. You can end it any way you want, but the point is to come to the end. Get to the point where you stop and there is silence. That is the end. All right, so let's talk about the ways that you can end before that silence part. You can give a call to action. Your ending can be a call to action, and it doesn't have to be buy my stuff. It can be something else inspiring. Save the world is a call to action, right? So it can be a call to action. It can be a story. Maybe you're going to end with a story. Maybe you're going to end with a summary, and that is okay, especially if you have given a really long and technical talk. Some of you are engineers or something much more detailed. You're going to be giving information, lots of information. Maybe that's the kind of talk you're giving. And a summary is a great way to end. I do not mean go back and give the entire speech over again. That's not what I mean. But maybe you want to touch on the 3 most important points from the talk. Just re-summarize them and end with a good statement, right? A closing statement. Maybe you want to end with a joke. I'm not generally funny enough to end with a joke, but I've heard some really good jokes for ends of speeches. I've heard really good inspirational quotes. Sometimes those are really good ways to end a talk. And regardless, bottom line, the end needs to be one great statement, and then the stop, and then the silence, and then the applause, and the thank you, and it's over. Okay, so that is how to end your speech. And the only way that happens, I promise you, is if you prepare it and practice it so that you are ready for that stop sign. Stop. Stop. Stop.